The Mexican community is vehemently anti-black, and I said what the hell I said. And given the climate that we're in right now, I think it's very important for us to recognize that anti-blackness. And before y'all start trying to say that I'm dividing folks, that I'm doing all this and causing division, just know that if the anti-blackness wasn't there and the division wasn't already there, I wouldn't have any content for this video. And I think it's important for us to recognize this, especially because of the Canelo versus Crawford fight that just happened and all the public controversy that fight had. So that fight directly played into the whole black versus Mexican kind of storyline that we've been seeing for decades now. And that storyline is vehemently anti-black. The reason why is because the whole Mexican versus black argument plays into the idea that black Mexican people do not exist. Not by way of being biracial, but by way of literally being a black person who is from Mexico, whose origins are from Mexico, who stopped in the transatlantic slave trade, was New Spain, and have been in Mexico before it was Mexico. Consistently engaging the idea that the Mexican community has a good with the black community, or that these are separate, completely unintersected entities, is a problem. The second president of Mexico was an Afro-Indigenous man who was killed for literally abolishing slavery. So when we are talking about anti-blackness in the Mexican community, these are things of recent history. Mestizaje was literally in the 20th century. So when we are trying to say that, oh, the Mexican community isn't anti-black, or oh, the Mexican community doesn't like the black community, we have to talk about how the Mexican community treats its black members. Right? It starts with understanding and unpacking the anti-blackness that Mexican people have towards Afro-Mexicans. And that is what we need to be discussing. That man Crawford paid nothing but homage to the Mexican community, and we had so many people coming out here booing the man and saying that he was appropriating and saying that he was trying to troll the man and give him a problem and all this kind of stuff and utilize the Mexican culture as a slap in the face. It was an entire thing. Of course, not everybody said it, but the point that I'm getting at is that whole fight and the way that it was perceived by the public fueled more anti-blackness. And I think this is a great time for folks to open up those books and read Finding Afro-Mexico by William Cohen, Race and Nationality After the Revolution, as well as they used to wear Spanish clothing, so they can get a better insight on slavery in Mexico, and how it impacted black people's perception in Mexico, and how Mexican people today perceive blackness within the Mexican community. Because if we can unpack that anti-blackness, then we could then start advocating for reparations for the black and indigenous people in Mexico.